100 players who shook the cup. Shook the cup.
Case. And Dalglish is in the clear. And Dalglish slots in a super little goal. Oh, so easy.
Probably, possibly, definitely the greatest footballer played for this club.
Dalglish. Oh, that's nice. That's lovely.
He's the best at the moment, there's no doubt about that. I mean, Liverpool's most successful times when he was there and he was the best player.
He was tremendous, absolutely tremendous.
Miss hit, but it's gone Dalglish and he turns and scores!
Hero of mine and yeah, the best player to ever wear the red shirt.
The coolest fella in the 18-yard box you could ever wish to see.
Certainly for me and my generation, you know, no one will surpass Kenny Dalglish.
The greatest player I've ever seen, bar none. The king.
Dermot sprinting across the box. Kennedy is in there. He's got the header. Dalglish the shot and it's going in!
And obviously, when you have to replace Kevin Keegan, who do you go for? And Bob Paisley paid out a record fee, £440,000 for what I thought was a lot of money for a player unproven in English football, but Bob was fantastic in what he saw in him and decided that he was going to be his next Kevin Keegan.
When he came here from Celtic, we'd heard stories of how great he was, but never really quite knew, you know, exactly why and how. But the fact that he was able to score the goals that he did and then also create goals for other players around him was special.
Kenny came down in 77 and immediately made an impact. I actually played against him on his debut at Liverpool Football Club, and he turned me inside out, turned the goalkeeper, scored on his debut for Liverpool, 2-0 win to Liverpool. And I said to myself, I'd love to play alongside somebody as gifted as that.
Whipped by the side and Kennedy ghosting into an empty space. Straight by Hughes, gave it to Dalglish, and it's the opening goal.
Unfortunately, I never played with Kenny Dalglish. So when Kenny was playing for Liverpool, I was sat in the stands watching. And when you're up there, and you've got more of a bird's eye view of what's going on the pitch.
Obviously coming to Liverpool in 77 helped his career blossom into, you know, what I consider to be the best player that I've ever played against and played with.
Johnson, first time to McDermott, Dalglish, and that's true. Neil, Johnson, McDermott, Dalglish, go. It was as simple as that.
He gave me the best years of my life, and and when I really needed it as well, when we were all on Zol.
He's a great player, can adjust his game to any position. The good thing about Kenny is you could tell him to play full-back, centre-back, and he'd play it, and he'd play it well. Good reader of the game, good passer, and in some ways a good motivator, because he expected the standards that he set himself to be high, and he didn't like anybody falling short of those standards.
And we had a superstar in Kenny Dalglish, without a shadow of a doubt. Superstar. But you can bet your bottom dollar when Kenny pulled that shirt on in that dressing room and he came out here to play, he was playing for that red shirt and for the other 10 players in that team.
McDermott. Oh, here's a chance again, perhaps for Dalglish. Oh!
He had probably everything that you want in a player, but perhaps for myself, he had vision. It was his vision. It was his ability to have his back to goal. He just knew somehow to jink to the left, to the right, to swivel, to wait the pass, seemingly without looking, and it would hit its mark. Might be the back of the net, might be one of his teammates running onto the ball.
He's the best player I've ever seen at this football club, because he's the only one that, when I've been sat in the stand, has actually surprised me. Where did he see that? How did he pick that out? And for me, Kenny was just a genius, a genius.
He wasn't the quickest of movers, but he was 20 yards quick up here, and he'd be in position before the defence knew what was happening.
Kenny was the light at the end of that tunnel. You know, he gave us that light that we needed, and to see him play, I mean, it's a privilege. I can say in years to come, I can say to my kids, I can say to my grandkids, I've seen Kenny Dalglish play, and that's the biggest accolade I can give him. I've got nothing but, you know, respect and love for the man.
As well as his pure genius, he was a fantastic team player, and his work rate and his work ethic were compatible with everybody else in the team. So Kenny for me was the best player I've ever seen at Anfield.
Dalglish, it might break for him, it does!
I would have paid to see him play. He was a lad, you know, he could hold the ball up, he can make goals, he can score goals. You know, he was just one of these guys that had tons of ability and showed it on the pitch as well.
Took a lot of stick, took a lot of hammer, took a lot of hard work. His goals just didn't come from penalties or tap-ins. He worked hard for everybody.
Dalglish, Lee again, Robinson, back heel to Dalglish, surely, yes it was. It's on here, and Dalglish has scored a quite magnificent goal.
In a funny sort of way, I think it wasn't so much a goal, it was bringing himself on at Chelsea, 1986, and we won the league, of course, going on to win the double. And just the look on his face when the final whistle blew, and everyone was dancing in the circle doing this mad jig, which was completely surreal in itself, but it was just that lovely smile, that grin, that look of sheer delight.
Good ball for Dalglish. He's got a second chance because Harris's clearance was a bad one, and he's curled it in!